Have you ever heard of a queen without a kingdom? This is the story of one. Her name is Dr. Ruja Ignatova. She called herself the crypto queen. She was brilliant, she was glamorous, and she was dangerously convincing. She would stand on big stages in front of thousands of people. She wore expensive ball gowns, she wore dazzling diamond earrings. She told everyone that she had invented something that would change the world. She promised to create a revolutionary cryptocurrency better than Bitcoin, one for the masses. People from small villages in Uganda, people from big cities in Europe. All around the world they listened to her every word. They believed she was a visionary, a genius leading them to a better future. She said she had a degree from Oxford University. She said she had worked for McKinsey & Company. This impressive background made her seem incredibly smart and reliable. She spoke with so much confidence that it was hard not to believe her. She created a powerful image. She was not just selling a product, she was selling a powerful dream. A dream of getting rich. A dream of being part of the next big thing. Her followers saw her as a powerful leader, someone who could challenge old financial systems and give power back to ordinary people. So, what was this amazing invention? Dr. Ruja called it OneCoin. She presented it not just as a product but as a global movement. She boldly declared it was the Bitcoin killer. Her sales pitch was masterful. She tapped into a common frustration, explaining that Bitcoin was too technical and confusing for normal people to use, with its complex charts and digital wallets. OneCoin, she promised, would be different. It was designed for the masses, simple, accessible, and safe. You didn't need to be a tech expert to get rich. The entry point was simple. You just had to buy a package of educational materials on cryptocurrency. These packages came with tokens, which you could then use to mine for OneCoins within their exclusive system. The logic was seductive. The more money you spent on a package, the more tokens you received, and the more OneCoin you could supposedly generate. It sounded simple and revolutionary, but the real engine for its explosive growth wasn't technology. OneCoin was built on a classic multi-level marketing or MLM structure. Investors earned money from the coin's value increasing, and more importantly, by recruiting new people to join. If you convinced your friends and family to buy a OneCoin package, you would get a handsome cash commission. This created a powerful chain reaction. Across the globe, people eagerly signed up their loved ones, held recruitment parties in their homes, and passionately repeated the promises Dr. Ruja made. They weren't just selling a cryptocurrency, they were selling a dream of financial freedom, a chance to escape debt, quit a dead-end job, and become a millionaire. Crucially, the entire enterprise rested on one central claim, that OneCoin was a real, functioning cryptocurrency. Dr. Ruja repeatedly assured investors it had a private, superior blockchain. But behind the slick presentations and the ever-rising value, there was a fatal flaw. It was all a lie. There was no mining. OneCoin had no real blockchain. The value shown on the website wasn't set by market supply and demand. It was just a number, manually typed into a database by OneCoin's own employees. By 2017, the cracks were starting to show. Across the globe, some investors were asking difficult questions. They wanted to know why they couldn't exchange their OneCoins for real money, like euros or dollars. The promises of wealth felt hollow when their digital fortunes were trapped in a closed system with no way out. Dr. Ruja had always promised that a public exchange was coming soon, a moment she called the IPO. This wasn't just a technical step, it was the promised land. This would be the day when all the loyal OneCoin investors could finally cash in and become rich. It was a powerful promise that kept their faith alive. A huge event was planned in Lisbon, Portugal in October 2017. Thousands of top promoters, investors, and fans flocked to the city, expecting to see their queen and hear the big announcement they had all been waiting for. It was meant to be her moment of triumph, the culmination of her financial revolution. But Dr. Ruja Ignatova never showed up. The crowd in Lisbon waited and waited. The initial buzz of excitement slowly soured into confusion, then a palpable wave of panic. Her brother, Konstantin Ignatov, who had become a key figure in the company, got on stage and made excuses. He claimed she was suddenly sick, that she couldn't make it, but his words rang hollow, and people started to realize something was terribly wrong. The crypto queen had vanished. In fact, she was already gone. The last time anyone saw her was on October 25, 2017, 2 weeks before the Lisbon event. She boarded a Ryanair flight from Sofia, Bulgaria to Athens, Greece. And then she was gone, disappearing into thin air and leaving behind a multi-billion-dollar empire built on lies. With its leader gone, law enforcement agencies around the world started to move in. The FBI in the United States unsealed a damning indictment against her, charging her with wire fraud, securities fraud, and money laundering. The truth was finally laid bare. They realized that OneCoin was not just a poorly run company, it was a deliberate and massive criminal enterprise, a classic pyramid scheme in disguise. Today, in September 2025, the question that echoes from law enforcement agencies to the living rooms of her victims remains the same. Where is Ruja Ignatova? The FBI has placed her on its 10 most wanted fugitives list, a rare distinction for a white-collar criminal. They're offering a substantial $250,000 reward for any information leading directly to her arrest. This places her alongside violent cartel leaders, terrorists, and murderers. The message is clear. The US government views the financial devastation she caused as an act of global significance, a threat on par with the most dangerous criminals in the world. With a ghost-like disappearance and billions in stolen funds, there are, unsurprisingly, many theories about her whereabouts. One of the most persistent theories is that she used her immense wealth to completely erase her old self. Some believe she underwent extensive and repeated plastic surgery to alter her appearance beyond recognition. She certainly has the resources. With access to billions, she could easily create a new identity, complete with forged documents and a fabricated history. She could be living a life of unimaginable luxury and hiding, perhaps in a country with no extradition treaty with the US, like Dubai or Russia, or secluded on a private yacht somewhere in the Mediterranean. But there is another, much darker theory, one that suggests her pursuers are searching for a ghost in more ways than one. It's a theory that suggests she might not be alive at all. From the beginning, Dr. Ruja was entangled with very dangerous people. Her protectors and enablers included powerful figures from Bulgarian organized crime, individuals who don't take kindly to loose ends. As the global investigation intensified, it's entirely possible that those who once protected her decided she had become a massive liability. A captured crypto queen could expose a vast network of money laundering and corruption. Chilling, unconfirmed reports from investigative journalists suggest she was murdered on a yacht in the Ionian Sea back in 2018, her body dismembered and discarded, a brutal end for the glamorous queen of crypto. But without a body or concrete proof, it remains just that, a chilling rumor in a sea of speculation. Alive or dead, her disappearance reads like a modern-day spy novel, leaving a dedicated group of investigators and journalists to chase shadows across the globe. And so the search continues, relentless and complex. Every now and then, a flicker of hope. A new lead surfaces, a credible sighting in Greece, a fresh clue about her hidden financial networks in Dubai, a whispered rumor from the criminal underworld that sends everyone scrambling. We on the Missing Crypto Queen podcast team have spent years following these leads across continents. We've navigated a labyrinth of lies, speaking to her former associates, frustrated law enforcement officials, and the heartbroken victims she left in her wake. The story is a dizzyingly complex web of deceit. It involves powerful shadowy figures and a trail of laundered money that snakes through shell companies and offshore accounts, making it incredibly difficult to trace. Her own brother, Konstantin Ignatov, who served as her personal bodyguard and eventual successor, was arrested and has cooperated with US authorities. But even he, once part of her inner circle, claims not to know the full truth of her fate or final location. One thing is certain, the story of Dr. Ruja Ignatova is far from over. For the millions of people who poured their life savings into her vision, there is no closure. They are left with shattered dreams and empty bank accounts, still searching for justice, for answers, and for any faint hope of getting their money back. The crypto queen's throne sits empty, but her ghost still haunts the world of cryptocurrency. Her name has become a cautionary tale, a symbol of the dark side of digital finance, and a constant, painful presence in the lives of those she so masterfully deceived. Her tale is a powerful, painful reminder that in the rush for innovation and wealth, if something sounds too good to be true, it almost certainly is. The global hunt for Ruja Ignatova continues, a testament to the scale of her crime, and until she is found, dead or alive, the biggest fraud of the digital age remains a deeply personal and profoundly unsolved mystery.